What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the best stocks you guys can possibly own post-pandemic. This stock is honestly already up over double from where it was at back from the March crash. But before we hop into that, we just ask that you guys hit that sub button. It really helps us grow the channel. We're already above 50 subs. So, I mean, last week we had really good growth, and we really appreciate that. We really do appreciate the support. But if you guys like this kind of stuff, just hit that sub button. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. So that stock that we're going to be talking about is Disney. Disney is probably one of the best stocks that I own in my portfolio right now. With the addition of Disney Plus, the parks opening up, they have all their other services they offer. I really think this one's going to go to the moon. And I honestly think that, like, with Disney Plus being as big as it is, like, no one ever, like, anticipated it to be that big, like, at all.
Right. Yeah, they're expecting by 2024 that they're going to have as many as 350 million total subscribers.
Which is huge.
And yeah, that's huge. And for comparison, that Netflix has 195 million. So that's that's a lot bigger than Netflix currently is. When they first came out with Disney Plus, I was kind of thinking, it's just a bunch of kid shows or whatever. But they have all the old stuff that I grew up watching. So
Right.
I mean, it just draws even more people in. You don't even have to have kids to want Disney Plus.
Right. And honestly, I honestly thought the same thing. I thought it was just gonna be like a bunch of like Hannah Montana, Disney,
Right.
anything Disney related. I thought it was just gonna be a bunch of kid movies, like you said. But the stuff like they have like the Sandlot on there, dude. I love the Sandlot. One of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
That and like the Mighty Ducks, stuff like you said. I grew up watching as a kid. It's nice to kind of go back to that nostalgia feeling and seeing that stuff. And don't even get me started on the Star Wars stuff, man. The Mandalorian, one of my favorite shows right now, dude. That show is so good.
Yeah, I never even really watched any Star Wars stuff, but I've been watching all that.
Right.
That's a really good show.
It's a really good show. Really good show.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
So on Investor Day earlier this month, they actually came out and said that they're going to be putting over 100 new films and series on Disney Plus. So that's huge.
Right, and I think that's probably why we saw that spike up a couple weeks ago. It was up like 10 or 12% on one day because they announced all those all those series, like all those movies getting their own series. I know they're coming out with like a Buzz Lightyear series, Moana series. I know they're adding some more Star Wars stuff. They're adding so much more content to it that it makes it worth the 10-15 bucks that you pay for it. Whatever the subscription price is. I think mine's included in my phone bill right now, so not quite sure what the subscription is, but
yeah, that's how I have mine. But the CFO said that they now plan on spending twice as much on content for Disney Plus than they originally expected because they didn't even expect it to blow up this much. So they're just it's good that they're
into it.
Yeah, they're going to be dumping a lot of more money into it to be having their own exclusive content, which is just going to send more people their way.
Right.
And they're also going to be having their first price increase of March next year.
Right.
So, the more exclusive content that they're creating, that's just going to justify them, raising the price.
Right.
People won't be so upset if the price goes up if, they keep releasing more, original series, kind of like Netflix does.
Right. I kind of feel like that's Netflix's problem, though. Like, they keep raising the price, but I feel like, yeah, they have a couple series that are on there, but I feel like the content's really kind of stale. I don't feel like I feel like we get our money's worth out of it because I'm a huge Office fan, but unfortunately that's leaving. So that's like one of the reasons I got Netflix in the first place. But it's like with that leaving, all these big name networks starting their own streaming service, Peacock's coming out, so all the NBC stuff's going to go to that. And then you have Disney taking all of their stuff off of Netflix. So it's like to pay that $15-20 a month for Netflix for some content, it's hard to justify. But I think Netflix is definitely going to need to add things to their portfolio in order for them to keep up with the price increases and to keep the subs. You need those subscribers. So,
and the good thing is with Disney, they already have like loyal fans of like Star Wars and Marvel series stuff, and stuff that people know, and they can do all kinds of spin-offs.
Right.
And people are just gonna eat that stuff up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, the price increase combined with the extra subs that they weren't expecting is going to equal to about additional $1 billion in revenue next year. and they're expecting that number to grow by another 1.4 billion in 2022, which is going to reach a total of 4.2 billion dollars in annual revenue for that year. So,
I mean, that's
like I said,
massive
it's
growth, honestly.
yeah, and that money I was just talking about is addition to what they were already expecting. Like they
Right.
weren't expecting it to grow this much. So
Which is crazy because
that's
they have other services like Hulu, ESPN. They have their parks. Disney Parks on its own is another topic for another video. But like when that stuff starts to open after vaccines get pushed out, like that's just going to be increased revenue for Disney,
but then once you add in
right?
all their Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN stuff,
I mean,
and
we're
just
already
how crazy the
past
growth is,
right. We're
like
already
it's
past
just gonna
post crash or
right.
before crash. So before crash, Disney was sitting at about 147. We're at 173. So we're already way past that. So now it's just at this point, it's just going to be continuous growth for them. So that's something definitely to look forward to. And like I said, they have, like I said, ESPN Plus and Hulu. Hulu on itself, if you're more into the TV services, that's gonna suit you more than Netflix. But ESPN Plus is huge right now because they signed a contract with UFC to stream all of their stuff on pay-per-view and ESPN Plus. And I feel like they're probably getting more viewers because people are bundling, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus all for one price. And I know that saves you a couple bucks if you just bundle all of that together. So it's like, who has cable anymore when,
Right, and I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I've heard where people have cable or dish or whatever, and that doesn't even include sports stuff. You have to get a
right,
separate package for that. So it's like you might as well just have ESPN Plus,
right,
you know?
right. And I know it said so they said by 2024, Hulu's they're expecting to have between 50 and 60 million subscribers. So they're still climbing. I honestly own all three: Netflix, Hulu, and Disney Plus. And out of all of them, I would probably say my top in this order is definitely going to be Disney Plus, Netflix, and Hulu. I just to get them all together. I mean, you can't beat that deal, dude. To get all
Right.
include not Netflix obviously, but Hulu and ESPN Plus, like it's just you're just going to save obviously the couple bucks a month. Totally worth it. But the two services that they have together, it should add up to be like another like $8 billion in revenue by 2022. So like you add that on top of what they're going to be getting from just Disney Plus on itself, like you're looking at 10-12 billion dollars on top of what they're already expecting. Like
Right.
to me, that's crazy. It's almost crazy not to own this stock. We bought in back on, oh man, I know I bought in a couple weeks ago and I'm already up like 10% in the stock. So, to me
Right.
it's worth
And
the hold.
yeah, and we were just talking about the growth being crazy. I mean, how long has Netflix been around? And they have 195 million subs.
Right.
You know, they've
Right.
been around, who knows, 20 years.
Right.
Maybe not that long. But Disney Plus, they're expecting 350 million in 4 years.
Like
Like
that's
that's compared to Netflix, that's crazy.
right. And I'm telling you, dude, they're blowing it out of the water with this Mandalorian series. Just wait.
Right.
I mean, I know they just dropped, what was it, the second season? So just wait until the next one comes out. They're gonna milk this cash cow. So
Oh yeah. I
it,
mean, why wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. So, but let's try not to get sidetracked. But yeah, with all this revenue they're bringing in, it compares to the same that pretty much Netflix already brings in. So, to me, it's almost, if you're into Netflix, I feel like you should almost be into Disney. And this is not financial advice. We talk about that in every video. Always consult your own financial advisor before you guys do anything with stocks. But I feel like personally, if you own Netflix, you should be owning Disney Plus or Disney as well.
Right. I mean, look at Netflix's stock price. You know,
Let's go ahead and just pull that up
oh,
right
it's
now.
over $500. So
Right,
if Disney is going to grow, Disney Plus is going to grow almost twice as much as Netflix, and by 4 years, have double the amount of subscribers.
right,
Like, why couldn't Disney get this high?
right,
And this isn't even accounting in their parks and everything else.
right.
So
The more money they pump into this content, man, I'm telling you, the more it's going to draw in subscribers. Everybody loves a good Disney movie. I'm sure everybody can name one of their favorite Disney movies. I honestly feel like honestly, Netflix is, or not Netflix. I honestly feel that Disney's just, it's on its way to that 500 mark, just like Netflix. Who thought Netflix would have gotten this high? I
Right.
feel like this is like all these streaming services are kind of working their way up. I know Roku. We did a video on Roku, and I feel like that's kind of working its way up towards that $500 mark. So
Yep.
it'll be interesting to see what happens with Disney here in the future. Where do you see price prediction wise? Where do you think you see Disney landing in the next 12 months?
By the end of next year, I would say at least double this,
Think
probably
so?
350. Yeah,
I was
because they're going to be with the amount of money they're dumping into this for new content. Like,
and
I think
parks
it's going to
and
blow up.
yeah,
Right,
I
and then the parks all opening back up and all that
right.
stuff.
I honestly I was gonna say about 250. I was gonna say
Yeah.
about 250. That might be on the lower end. I'm not sure. 250, 275 is that's where I personally am gonna value it within the next 12 months. We'll see what happens. Turn of the year, things are starting to roll out. But yeah, I think that's all we got for you guys in this video. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, always like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Get that notification every time we drop a video. We try to drop one once a week. On a side note, I'm leaving for vacation tomorrow morning, so there may or may not be any videos for the next week. We're going to try to push some out if we can, but if there's not, that's why. But we'll pick them back up once we get back from vacation. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.